Me I test the temperature at night tonight, you know. Who is up? We start playing this thing because without without further ado, let me play. This is one is serious, ladies and gentlemen. By the way, this is what is gonna be said here is serious prophetic word. I just had the video released formally, but to be honest with you, the way how the amount of things that is in the video, any title that I had put would not be sufficient. It's a comprehensive compilation of prophetic words. It's going to be chaotic. There's going to be exposure, there's going to be disaster, economically, weather-wise, land acquisition or land loss or business records, loans. There's so much. I mean, I don't know, man. There's so much. But let me just play this real quick. Good night. Hit the like button, share. Tell them to Bolo up. All right? Let's get it. Oh, wait a minute. Wait. Oh, there we go.
Hallelujah, hallelujah. So I greet you, and there are those who would say, oh, he's a prophet of doom, but that's all right, So the matter of climate and weather, climate patterns, climatology, and of course weather patterns going berserk, it is all part and parcel, yes. Number one, the judgment of God. But also number two, the manipulation of the elements of creation. Yes? The manipulation, water, air, fire,
and of course the earth and the elements thereof, to advance the argument or evil ideology of climate change, because the more berserk and unpredictable weather patterns become, it's the more leverage that the operatives of the beast will have to advance the beast agenda and to control the masses. Control food, control water, control land, and of course control money, control communication, control worship, believe it or not, control family, all through this beast ideology of climate change, believe it or not, friends. And so if ever there's a year where weather, climate will be going berserk,
listen to this,
strange phenomena,
listen to this,
and scientists will become nonplussed and will attempt to explain it using climate change. It's going to be this year. Get ready. We have to pray like we have never prayed before. Not to stop it.
Exactly.
Some of that which they are planning will be nullified as a result of the prayers of the saints, but God will allow it primarily because of the rebelliousness of the people. Yes. And so he'll allow much of it to happen. There's a major weather event that will happen. And it will affect isles, meaning islands, where small islands will be no more.
You hear that?
And so this prophetic word is key, where we have...
No, when you hear the man say small island, what going on? Small islands in the Caribbean will be no more. Them gone underwater, you know, brother, fully, you know. No, it's not a parish. An island like, but when I don't want to call the name, because I don't want, he man never call the name, but all of the island them in the entire Caribbean is a possibility. Every island, listen what the man said a while ago. Every island is a possibility.
We have to pray like we have never prayed before.
All right.
Not to stop it.
You can't stop.
Some of that which they are planning will be nullified as a result of the prayers of the saints, but God will allow it primarily because of the rebelliousness of the people.
So, you guys remember when the prophetic word, the prophetic the declaration, the holy declaration of the apostle that Jamaica has to repent, the entire island. 3 days fasting and prayer, declaration by the government. They have not done it. You know what they did? They did 2 days. You know what that tells me? They heard it. They heard when the prophet said 3 days fasting and prayer and repentance. And they did 2 days of prayer. I know when you know where the prayer happened. Them just declare 2 days, one Saturday and one Sunday. So they have been disobeying God's servants for a while now. Paul, big up. They have been disobeying God's servants them for a while now. The government. From in the pandemic, Pastor Peter Chambers, Apostle Pastor Peter Chambers, Apostle Jeffrey Shuttleworth, Mark Stewart, all of them and others. Don't get me wrong, when you hear me call those three, who me know. So I don't want nobody and their feelings. Well, that shouldn't even happen if you're a man or woman of God. Humble thyself. You understand? Well, are you a servant? If you say, if you that a your path you take. You understand? No matter what level we serve upon, all of we are servants. But anyway, I am saying the word. If you remember the lady where Andrew Otis did have the talk with in the pandemic, the pastor lady in front of her gate, and the lady said she get a word, the country needs to go upon fasting and prayer 3 days and turn from their wicked ways. And listen, the government has gotten, and he made an excuse as to why he would not do it. And today, up to from Hurricane Melissa hit, the same word was given to him and his government, and they have not heed the warning, ladies and gentlemen. So here we go.
Yes. And so it'll allow much to happen.
So because the government was disobedient, the plans that the enemy have, thus saith the Lord, he will allow
it. There's a major weather event that will happen, and it will affect isles. Isles, meaning islands.
Major weather event that will affect islands.
Where small islands will be no more.
Small islands will be no more. Wow.
And so this prophetic word is key. Where we have interest in investing and living in areas that are close to the coastline.
Hey.
I'm going to say that one more time. Where we have interest in investing and building and living near the coastline. In the past, it was idyllic,
lucrative,
panoramic, salubrious, picturesque to live in such places and also profitable. But I'll tell you this is a year when many of these places are going to be impacted and some will be no more because of water incidents and other form of climate phenomena.
Do you guys notice how he uses his words carefully? He's not telling you outright, but listen, share this live.
I go a little bit further. Major volcanic eruptions are on the horizon. Major volcanic eruptions are on the horizon.
Major.
And the disconcerting thing about some of these eruptions is that volcanoes which people were not aware of. In other words, people, including scientists, did not know that those existed, including underwater volcanoes. The incidents will be sudden, especially for these, some dormant. In other words, they have not erupted. There was no activity, like, for example, over 120 years. Some longer.
Well, listen, if you guys think he's playing around, there was a volcano that erupted late last year. And just because I want to just give you the receipts, I'm going to look back at the video because I sent it to myself on Instagram. I sent the video to myself. So at least I know the face of the guy too. He always wear glasses. Look like he live in New York. And I actually fact-checked the video and found out it was true. Alright? I want you guys to hear for yourself. Like how long ago this volcano, how long ago it did not erupt. If you think it's oh, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Here it is.
Because I think y'all better pay attention to what's going on. Because that volcano that erupted in Ethiopia hasn't erupted in 12,000 years. That shit was not supposed to happen. That volcano that erupted hasn't erupted since anybody on this earth lived on this earth. Mind you, this volcano just erupted out of the blue. So you telling me after 12,000 years, this shit just randomly erupted? Does that make sense to you? Villages completely dark. Numerous animals died. Ash shot almost 10 miles into the air. Mind you, this volcano is about 500 feet all the way up into the sky. This is the same volcano that erupted before the end of the Ice Age. This is the same volcano that erupted before. You ain't just hear what I just said, right? Mind you, 40 other volcanoes erupted simultaneously. Now jump down that rabbit hole. What just happened in Europe? That volcano that was in Europe, that shit erupted too. The earth is definitely giving signs right now, and those signs do not look good. And I heard somebody mention this, but do you remember what the prophet said about fire rising near the Red Sea? Where's Ethiopia? I see everybody worrying about what technology gonna do, but you gotta remember this. There were civilizations that lived before us, and they didn't have the technology we had. But it seems like they knew way more than what we did. And if those prophecies are true, this volcano erupting, it's not a good thing at all. Pay attention. I think y'all better pay attention to what's going on. Because that volcano that erupted in Ethiopia hasn't erupted in 12,000 years. That shit was not supposed to happen. That volcano that erupted hasn't erupted since anybody on this earth.
Yo, listen, if you want to know, all you got to do is go to Google, right? Let me tell you what you're going to write in Google. And you'll find the articles. If you want to know what happened, just type in 12,000 year volcano erupted in Ethiopia. 12,000. Oh shoot. Let me see. What's the detail here, ladies and gentlemen? Go to settings, private camera, microphone. What is this? What is this? Oh my God. So I gotta go to Google settings for that. You know, let me do it from now. Why not? Yeah. Why not? Why not? Let I do it from now, though. So it's settings, privacy and security. Alright. Privacy and security. Then what? Yeah, I'm at privacy and security. What else? God damn, man. Site setting. Where's that? I don't see no site setting. Nah. This is site setting. Must have been live. I don't know what's going on here. Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. This don't make no sense. Yeah, this is wild. I don't see no camera. I don't see none of that. Whatever. Whatever, man. Whatever. I can't take it anymore. All you gotta do is type in 12,000-year-old volcano eruption. That's it. It should carry to the article. I think this is it. Yeah. Smithsonian Magazine. That's one of the ones it came on. Discovery Magazine, The Guardian, Scientific America, Life Science. So this is all over the news. CBS News, Straight Arrow News. Everywhere around the world recorded this volcano. Global News, Bhaskar English. There's a ton of sources for you to read. NDTV, Al Jazeera, the New York Times, Times of India, ABC News, The Hindu, Interest Engineer, China. I don't know what that says, but Japan, one of them. I don't know. Sorry, no disrespect to the Asians. I don't know your language. All right, but I'm just saying, there's a whole bunch of sources for this one thing that happened that the guy just said a while ago. So I fact-checked it. You understand? And it's true. What he's saying here is true.
I think y'all better pay attention to what's going on. Because that volcano that erupted in Ethiopia hasn't erupted in 12,000 years. That shit was not supposed to happen. That volcano that erupted hasn't erupted since anybody on this earth lived on this earth. Mind you, this volcano just erupted out of the blue. So you telling me after 12,000 years, this shit just randomly erupted?
It's not a coincidence.
Does that make sense to you? Villages completely dark. Numerous animals died. Ash shot almost 10 miles into the air. Mind you, this volcano is about 500 feet all the way up. All the way up into the sky. This is the same volcano that erupted before the end of the Ice Age. This is the same volcano that erupted before... You ain't just say what I just said, right?
Before the Ice Age, bruh. So when I hear Jeffrey Shuttleworth speak, it's like, when I factor in all the things that has happened, man, listen. What the Bible say? My sheep shall know my voice. Alright. You know what I'm saying?
All of a sudden they are going to roar to life, shocking everyone.
It's happening.
And then you will have other instances where no one knew that there was a volcano. For example, a particular island will say, we have never, in our history, we have never had any. And this is the first time. Well, yes.
Let me, based off what I've heard from the prophetic, this is not, what I'm about to say is unscientific, because it's not proven. But based off the prophetic, even before this prophetic utterance, all of these islands in the Caribbean are on a volcano somewhere under there, whether near the ocean, under the land. All of these Caribbean islands is sitting on some type of volcanic situation. Jamaica, no doubt about it. Blue Mountain is a symbol. All right. The fault lines where they run is a symbol that there's a ton of volcanic activity happening under our situation. All right. So remember when the hurricane came, this is the first time I heard of what is called aquifers. Under the earth, you have caves that full up with, no, hold on. By the way, how you got caves under the earth, bro? Why the earth not just cave in? You know, the more I think about it, it's only the grace of God. Like, why do we even test God, brother? Why we even do that? It is a fruitless, like we don't make it every trick, you know. Oh, we test God. You know, them people that, ooh, and then burn this and it. Yeah. Bro, the ground that you're standing on, you don't even know if it's solid ground, bro. Have you guys heard about what happened in Parity? St. Elizabeth? The bag of hole them in the the man have to walk around and careful so they don't step over there, so. Because if they step in there, they ain't gonna see and then dead. Yeah. Even the very, no, caves under, I don't think people understand what is being said. Whole of caves. Big ass caves, bro. Under. And if you don't believe me, the level of water that they said filled up these caves are in the hundreds of feet high. They could hold that amount of water, not to mention the width of the caves, to further compensate distance where the water is concerned. And those waters filled up in the aquifer, came out of the earth in Manchester, and then cover houses. You gotta be, bro. Come on, man. Yo. Caves under the water, brother, under the earth, bro. So how the earth even stand up, bro? What is holding the earth? No must even is. How the earth even stand up if water there and there? Whole of caves, alright. Boom, you have some rock. What is stopping the rock them from crumbling? You have mini earthquakes like all the time. Brother, and with some big earthquake clicking on people, house just start falling and building just start sinking at that. Gone, you know. And you wonder, how comes he gone and where they gone? Because you never know what's going on that ground. Possible. These things have happened.
Jamaica beware. That's all I will say. Jamaica beware. Jamaica beware. For even in cases where it does not take place directly on the island, but in the case of underwater, it will still have a deleterious impact on neighboring islands. Because among the things that will happen with the eruption of an underwater volcano is that it will trigger earthquakes, which will trigger tsunamis. A word to the wise is sufficient.
Yeah.
We need to be praying these matters through. Yeah. There is realignment which will be taking place this year as heaven and earth, the earth realm realigns itself with the heavenly realm, because we have moved so far away because of the evil activities of men and women calling themselves scientists. And they have been doing so many different types of experiments. Many of these experiments we are not aware of. Yes. Including governments are not even aware of some of the experiments that are taking place, because you have scientists, geologists, biologists, nuclear scientists, etc. They have gone rogue.
What them do?
Literally have gone rogue, because big bucks have been invested in these research. And so they have gone rogue. So the authorities in a number of areas, they are not aware of some of these activities that are taking place behind the scenes. And as a result of these activities,
So ladies and gentlemen, you have scientists that have compromised their integrity, you know. Big bucks being paid for fake data. So when you hear companies say they have scientific research, go and do some research, follow the money. Who is funding those research? You mean the same company? The same company that they're researching funded the research? All right. More often than not, the entities that actually are independent, those are the ones you have to watch. That look to maintain their integrity. My live on YouTube, but I go live on TikTok too. What is so hot? No, sir. Hot. Take off this. Why me only can one, you know? Yeah, me only can one. Some people don't want to hear these things, but whoever ears to hear, let them hear. I don't feel comfortable. I don't feel comfortable knowing these things and keeping them to myself. That's why I'm sure them for my life. Because let me be honest with you, ladies and gentlemen, and let me be frank. If what I am doing here was only just about the views, I wouldn't even be sharing this. Because what I've realized is that people are not, one, listening to these messages. Once they see the pastor on the thumbnail, them gone. They have rejected the word. But for those who still want, there's some people out there, if it's even one or two person, all right, that still haven't heard it before. I'm going to play it. No, I have to come on more often still, because I need to do at least 3 lives a day, to be honest with you. One in the early. You know what I mean? One around 2. And the next one in the evening. You know, sometimes even now. Can do one now, then one about 11, and then the next one about 4. So we get in 3 live a day. You see? Because just to get the message out. Important.
Between heaven and earth, and we are talking about people might be looking at me askance, not realizing symmetry is very important. That's where symmetry came from. Symmetry. So this whole balance, when God made everything, it was good, functional. symmetric. But because of rebellion, because of sin, that alignment has been lost. Well, this is the year when God will be bringing back things into alignment, not perfect alignment. That will not happen until Jesus the Christ, Son of the living God, sets foot physically again on earth to establish his reign, the millennial reign, and so on. But there are some major shifts that are going to take place. Now, when these shifts begin to take place in the realm of the spirit, it is going to play itself out temporarily. Hence, matters having to do with the climate, weather patterns. Also, matters having to do also with life in terms of life cycles, availability of resources. It will also impact institutions. And let me say this, there are institutions built by God because of his grace, and after years of prospering, guided by righteous principles, these organizations have decided to take side with the devil and to say to God, away with you, to hell with God, they say.
Mighty God.
And they are now fully aligned with the beast. Guess what? As God realigns creation, as God realigns earth and heaven, what is actually going to happen? A number of these institutions are going to collapse, because it's almost like having an earthquake, and the earth shifts in terms of the tectonic, the plates, and then you have gaps opening up. And so foundations become undermined and buildings collapse. Structures collapse. Structures that were strong, even immovable, persons would think, because it's the best engineering, form of engineering, etc. Well, you're going to have businesses, well-known businesses, collapsing, going under. And people will find all sorts of reasons to give as to why that happened and so on. But I'm telling you, with the realignment, there are going to be businesses going under, organizations going under, empires going under. And one of the ways that the beast will be using to compensate is to merge. So you're going to have more mergers happening this year as the realignment. And hear this well. Before I say that, anyway, let me mention this before I forget. They also, with the realignment, you're going to be having famous persons. Famous persons. This year is going to be a record-breaking year. Famous persons bowing out or falling from the scene, falling from grace, dying, losing their positions, that sort of stuff. Famous persons, both, especially those who are not rightly aligned.
Wow.
It's going to be the year, because as God realigns, where their foundation was faulty, they will not be able to stand. So you're going to have famous leaders, influential, well-respected leaders, some dying, others losing their positions, and also losing their empire, losing out big time, finding themselves, so they are very wealthy, and within a matter of weeks, they don't know what has hit them. They have lost everything.
Wow.
It is the year also when Babel, the Tower of Babel, which is built through technology, that we are going to see cracks appearing, and with the cracks, or what are called fault lines, problems, things are going to go haywire. And this is one of the ways God will use to delay or to slow down the advance of the beast, because the beast is trying now.
Now, if I know one thing I next, I don't know why now the phone has slowed down and now take the code. Me get the code and now the phone slow down and now take the code. This even I may have 2% left on this phone. And more do I get the code for scan it now? Lord have mercy.
To
no, sir.
Increase and to accelerate.
Devil is a liar.
The advancement of the beast system. Remember, they are way behind. There is so much they wanted to have accomplished in 2020, and they still, up to this point, have not yet accomplished it. So they are redoubling their efforts. And so we have to also prepare.
So 2020, when them come with them big event, that was a test run, and the test failed. So because the test failed now, they want to accelerate certain things now. You know, this a time now. Because time I run short. Okay.
Or another lockdown. Watch that.
Wanna hear
Another
that?
So they are redoubling their efforts.
Want to hear that?
And so we have to also prepare for another lockdown.
Prophetic words.
Watch that. Another lockdown is looming.
Lockdown is looming.
This 2026. I'm going to repeat. Another lockdown. We are talking about global now. Is looming. This 2026. Beware. So watch cyber increase, cyber attacks, and also blackout. This kind of blackout is not just going to be for a couple of hours. In some instances for days. Just like, and we will talk a little bit about the West. We went into the West on a number of occasions. But the assignment a couple of days ago, when was it? I don't even remember. When? Today is what? Friday. So we went in, when was it? Wednesday. Oh my goodness. It's so many things are happening, right? And for the first time, there are many who have never gone into the West, especially those areas that were hard hit. And it was a shocker for them. A number of persons, they were so shaken. Because seeing it on the news is one thing, but when you actually set foot and you see the devastation, even now it's there, many of them can't even handle it. I'm about to say something. So in the same way, a number of these communities are still without basic amenities. When it's in the night, notice how dark the areas are. Of course, with the worship we had, the sustained worship, there was a light that came over the West. And we saw that manifesting going from 5:30 a.m. on Thursday morning into almost 6 o'clock. Actually, a little bit earlier than that. The kaleidoscope of colors that just exploded in the sky. And I'm going to be asking someone who is listening there, maybe Brother Hooper, kindly send those pictures so we can post them online. Kaleidoscope of colors just exploded in the sky, which symbolize a major shift over the West. Yes? As a result of the sustained high praises, decrees and declaration and worship. That's for another story. But you will see, friends, that they are far from recovering. So I'm going back now to the cyber incident. So when it happens, it's just a matter of when, it's not if. There are a number of areas that will not recover immediately. So there are some places where the recovery will be within an hour or two. And when I say some places, meaning globally. But there are places that will not recover for days, even up to a week. And I'm going to make this very critical statement. I'm not speaking from notes. This is extemporaneous. So you had better listen, take notes. If ever there is a year that we need to pay attention to our records, this is the year. Onwards.
Stop.
Ensure that you print all.
People don't hear that. If you don't have a business, please print out all our records. Print it. Get them. Decade. Big up. Respect. Thank you for the gift. Get them printed. Alright? Any business at all you have. Major. Even the government. Everything was documented, like loans and them something there. Your title for your house. Them thing there. Get them hard copy. Not soft copy. Not digital. Get everything hard copy. Make sure so now have no ID and them something there, everything. Birth certificate, original, all of them thing there. You know? Put in a plastic can. You understand? Make sure say it's safe and thing. It's serious, people. If you are going, you good?
Financial statements. Do not rely on the digital. I'm speaking to churches as well. Your financials, print them. Because there will be a loss, great loss in records, financial records, and it's deliberate.
You hear that?
By the beast.
It is deliberate. Ladies and gentlemen, mighty God, tell us something. We get too much warning now. We get too much warning with us. And we're still not prepared now. Not true. Nobody can say that. I really thought we're still not prepared.
To dispossess and to rob people of literally billions of dollars globally. And this will also cause the financial system, and I'm not giving financial advice, I want to make it clear, I'm speaking prophetically as the Lord is showing. And this will set the tone for the reset of the financial system of the globe or the economy of the globe. So what the beast is planning is to dispossess. How? By cyber incidents. So you, for example, listening, you may have, and I'm just using conservative figures, you may have $10,000 or $100,000, and the record is there now. But everything is now digital. Well, after the incident, you know the burden of proof is going to be on you to prove that you actually had invested $100,000 or $10,000. And if you can't prove it, you have to kiss that money goodbye. And there are many who will not be able to prove it. Why? Because they did not have any backup or hard copy of their financial record. Hear the word of the Lord. Someone listening, people listening, and this is also for businesses. This is also for churches. You need to spend time, print your financials, print them, compile a file, and you need to start now. Print out all. It doesn't matter how expensive it is. Print it out. Make sure they are properly dated. Also have those files endorsed. I wasn't planning to say all of this, but as I began to speak, the Holy Spirit begins to show me a couple of stuff, and I will just say it because chances are I won't remember to say it later.
Listen up.
Make sure those financials that you have printed, they are also endorsed by a justice of the peace.
Okay.
And you have a proper file. I'm speaking to churches because the beast would want to dispossess churches also of their financial resources so that they now in turn become dependent on the beast.
Want to hear that?
So when that blackout happens, if churches do not have proper files to corroborate.
And all of this is prophetic word. This is a thus saith the Lord, all right? Be prepared for what is to come, and for what is to come, be prepared.
And to prove that they had such and such in this bank or in that financial institution and so on, dog, nyam them supper, lunch, breakfast, because you are not going to get anything unless you have the proof to say this is it. And those financials.
Can you imagine you built a business? How are you doing, Natalia? Built a business. Good morning. Hope you're well. Built a business. Good morning, Cooley Singh. Imagine you built a business for years. And this digital thing coming in and you're getting acclimated, transfer and everything, and you don't have any hard copy. And then bloop, bloop, or presto, somebody steals, bless you, big up. Presto, somebody steals your entire record as if it's of their own. And then you are asked, after the whole system crashes, you are asked to present such record to prove that you own this, not by word of mouth, but by evidence that you actually own this. Mighty people, that is scary, you know. And you heard what he said, some people are going to commit, you understand, themselves. Some people are going to themselves. Bless up yourself, man. Respect. Bless up yourself. Bless up yourself. Bless you, 777. Respect. Imagine that. And you heard what he said? It's going to be deliberate. This is how thus saith the Lord. Like and share the video, guys.
Be endorsed by a justice of the peace or a notary public. It's very important. Can't just print them like that. Because the beast is going to try every mean, every way the beast can to dispossess you. It is not just financials in terms of money, but also properties. Do not rely on the digital records. You need to print these things. Make sure. And you have a justice of the peace or a notary public.
I want to say to God, thank you. Thank you for finally letting me fix my mother phone. You guys just don't understand. For the last 48 hours, this phone has been terrorizing me. And I finally did it, ladies and gentlemen. I finally did it. Damn, did it. I thought I told you. I thought I told you I would do it. I thought I told you. I thought I told you I would do it, ladies and gentlemen. I thought I told you. Thought I told you. Sure did it. Yes, mommy, I do this. Finally.
Seal these documents.
Finally.
Maintain files, physical files. Put them somewhere safe. Because the blackout will be sudden. And there are many literally will cry for days, even, God forbid, taking their lives, because everything they own would be gone.
Mighty God.
And they have no way of proving it. And that's the plot of the beast.
Yes.
Because they want to reset the system, remove money as we have it in terms of cash, and go fully digital. A word to the wise is sufficient. I'm going to take it a little bit further as the Holy Spirit is leading me. This is also a word to governments, because a number of nations will also be impacted, so that you talk about your NIR and your different financials. If you do not have the proof that as a nation you had investment such and such at a particular bank in Switzerland or wherever, or in terms of how much you owe the IMF, IDB, CDB, whatever the banks or financial institution or bilateral partners, they will arbitrarily say, oh, no, sir, our records show that, let's say the name of the island or the country is Akitree. No, our records show that Akitree is indebted to us to the tune of $10 billion, for example. You can't counter that because your records that were all digital, they are gone. And so you have no legs to stand on. And I'm talking now nations. And so nations are going to find themselves in major problems as a result of the blackout. I'm going a little bit further as the Holy Spirit is prompting me. I'm speaking also to hospitals. Hospitals. This matter of going fully digital, maintain your hard copies, maintain those dockets. Do not get rid of them. Maintain them. Ensure that they're up to date, because the blackout will affect hospitals, medical facilities, businesses. It's serious, and it is a part of the strategy the beast will use to dispossess and to make nations and institutions subservient. A word to the wise is sufficient. Last matter, and then we hear from the team, greetings, etc. The Lord has been speaking about crime and violence. Lady Jenny will give an update. Hear this word. It is not a good word, but it has to be said. Crime and violence, in terms of bloodletting, homicides, is set to continue to increase. Believe it or not.
By the way, have you guys heard about how much people the police has unalive since the year has begun? It sure has gone up. It sure has gone up. You individual that is here laughing, alright, you can go laugh by yourself, alright? You don't have to be here. You're going to learn, but unfortunately you're going to learn the hard lesson if you don't repent. Alright? There's so much that Mr. Shuttleworth has prophesied that, wow, on point, right? So,
Hear the word of the Lord. As a result of the rebellion of the leaders of Jamaica, as a result of the rebellion of many of the citizens of this nation of Jamaica, including in the church, the judgment will intensify. There will be an increase in bloodletting, not just among civilians, but also including members of the security forces. But hear the frightening part. And hear this. And this is prophetic. I'm not giving you security advice, but a word to the wise is sufficient. Hear the word of the Lord. As members of the security forces, through technology, have been leveraging technology in order to intercept, interdict, and shut down, even cut down, operatives in the criminal world.
Hear this.
So, are operatives within the same security forces who are aligned to the criminal underworld, so will they be using the technology against the very security forces that they are a part of. And it is going to cause major problems. One of the major problems that will be caused.
No, let's see, N-O-N-E, listen. Ego is ahead of everything, We all want to do things our way, And when instructions is given to us by the men and women of God, we just feel like say, yo, we must do whatever we want to do. You know what I mean? And sometimes it does not work that way. You know what I'm saying? Most of the times it really don't work that way. It's because of ego. All we had to do was follow instructions as a nation when the instructions was given by the men and women of God. And as a country. And Jamaica would have been, we would have been straight. That's all I know. We would have been straight. And it starts from the leadership. And Jonas has not taken the instructions from the men and women of God. If you notice, one pastor that gets the most, it's not a competition. All of them are getting persecuted. Pastor Shuttleworth is getting persecuted. Mark Stewart is getting persecuted. And these are just the ones that I know. I'm not saying there's not others. Even my brother, what's the brother's name that wear the glasses and him have the look afro? You do a lot of prophecy and things, come out all the while, but oh my God, I forgot about I have him on my documentary, a lot of them get persecuted when they come out and speak what was told of them to be spoken. And so, because we are rejecting the prophets when they speak, and then I don't understand why we're rejecting them, If you listen to the prophets, one of the messages that come from all the prophets that I listen to is to repent. That is the main, take out everything else, take out the disaster, take out all of that. What is the main message? Repent. So I have come to the conclusion that people don't have a problem with the prophecy. People have a problem with what needs to be done to shift same or protect ourselves while the prophetic manifestation happens. That's what we have a problem with. That's what the people have a problem with. So yes, exactly. That is the main message, repent. So they miss that, or they pretend to miss it, and then argue about, there's a false prophet on me. Remember, wasn't there an instance when a donkey was used to send a message? Like, God will use anybody. Michelle, what's up? Happy New Year. God will use anything and anybody. Donkey. Come on now. You know what I'm saying?
Is that it's going to be difficult to be able to decipher who is responsible for certain illicit activities, such as a shooting where 5 died. The narrative would say it was a shootout between members of the security forces and criminals. That's what the regular narrative would say. But the truth would be that it was actually operatives within the security advancing their own agenda who would have been involved in same. So the word of the Lord is, such persons will go rogue, and it is going to cause confusion. It is also going to make crime fighting difficult, because the enemy that you are fighting is not only without, but also within. And so I'm speaking to members of the security forces. We're about to step into that realm, and it's going to happen suddenly. We're not far from it. It can happen any moment now. And when it happens, no one will be safe.
Wow.
You hear what I just said?
Wow.
I'm not giving security advice. I'm speaking as the Lord is showing. No one will be safe, because the enemy will be within. The enemy is there already, but they now.
So we in Jamaica already have a real crime issue. And you see, I'm so upset with the government for misleading the people where record is concerned. And it's so unfortunate that the naivety that they have fueled by these records that they have presented to be facts. The naivety that they have built is only, it's like leading the lamb to slaughter. I tell you, you cannot render evil for evil, even when you're fighting crime. So you see this thing with them is eliminating so-called criminals. If that 4-year-old was not 4-year-old, if that 4-year-old was 14-year-old, you would have heard that the 14-year-old take up gun, and shoot off at the police, But because it's a 4-year-old, you can't say that. You can't say it. But the attitude, the gunslinging, the trigger happiness, not maintaining the peace, but more exterminator type of vibe, energy, is what I believe is now manifesting itself in full effect. After I go to this, I'm going to go to an interview with the Colin Bell and the general. Majority of people cannot manage this. Them are going to say them, me mad, and I'm not mad, just very brazen. You all fear. Okay, I don't understand what you're saying about that.
What the Lord is saying, and as we have been praying, we are seeing it coming up, and we are just sharing with you. So they have now been able to master and manage the system so that they can master their activities. So you are there plotting as to how to deal with operatives on the outside, not realizing that some of the very same persons who are planning, you are planning with, they are knowing the plan, and they will know how to intercept, intervene, and manipulate. So there will be incidents of innocent lives being lost, meaning members of the security forces, persons who decide that we will not comply, we will not be a part of it. That's where we're about to enter. The word of advice, members of the security forces who are born-again believers, you need to observe a season of fasting and prayer. Cry out to the Lord so that he can shut down the plots and plans of the enemy, so that he can expose these wolves in sheep clothing, because no law-abiding officer or security personnel who decide to stand for what is right would be safe. I'm giving a prophetic word as the Lord has showed. It's coming out of members of the public. We need to intensify our prayers for the security forces. because the forces of darkness are determined to advance their agenda. And anyone who tries to stand in their way, they will try to remove them. We need to pray for members of the security forces, pray for the JCF, pray for the JDF, very important. And this is an appeal to members of the security forces who are born-again believers. You need to come together, identify other born-again believers, and you need to be praying deliberately about what was just released. The very same technology that we are singing and waxing praises, the enemy has mastered it from within and will be leveraging it to advance their agenda from within. And it will cause no ends of problems. Friends, we are in dangerous times. Exciting times, yes, to advance the gospel, but dangerous times. This is not for you to be fearful, but it's to say to us that Satan is determined to control nations, to control institutions, as is consistent with Bible prophecy. But the people who know their God shall be strong and do great exploits or fight back. So I close by saying, all I've shared is not financial advice in the first instance. No, prophetic word as the Lord would reveal coming out of times of prayer. What I've just shared is not security advice. It is prophetic as the Lord reveals. And remember, God does nothing on earth unless he reveals same to his servants, the prophets. And God also will expose the enemy to those who are aligned with him so that we are not kept in the dark. We'll know how to pray, how to shut down, how to cancel. So all I've just shared, I want to make that clear, are words of prophecy as revealed by the Lord. What is expected of those who have heard is that we now need to pray the process through. There are some aspects that will not change, but there are still other aspects that may change depending on prayer and whether or not those involved repent. May the Lord help us as a people and nation as we navigate this new year, which is a year with great opportunities to advance righteousness, but it also will be a year of tumult, troubles, trials, rapid changes, war, lack, changing of cycles, and also the ending of negative cycles, the beginning of new positive cycles, but also the beginning of negative cycles. So where one cycle ends, that is negative, the enemy will seek to perpetuate it. So we have to recognize this year and what are the accent points. There is much more to say in terms of the year itself, but these are some of the matters that the Lord has just raised up and lifted up to be released at this time. People of God, if ever there's a year that requires prayer, intense prayer, it is this year. Believe you me, more prayer than last year. If ever there's a year where evangelism is going to be crucial, this is the year. Because Satan is no longer sitting back. This is the year when Satan is going to push even more. He's going to push harder. He's no longer in the closet. Satan is no longer bashful, so to speak, or reticent in putting forward Satan's version of the truth. And so all different avenues that Satan can find and utilize, he's going to utilize.
Like and share.
Because this is the year. He claims that it is his year because it's the 6th, 26, 57, 86, so 6. And interestingly, it's the number that Satan has latched onto. Hence the 666. Yes. So we have to be mindful. Also be mindful of June. The month of June is going to be major. Month of June this year. And also the 6th of June. It's very critical. The 6th month and also the 6th day in the month of June. I may not remember, or we don't know what the Lord has in store. But if the world lasts, life is spared. The 6th month and the 6th day of the 6th month is going to be crucial. We need to be praying. Ha.
Wow. The 6th month and the 6th day at the 2026. We need you, Lord, we need you. We need you now like never before.
By the shadow minister of security, national security. We're talking to Sir Fitz Jackson. Fitz, good evening.
Thank you, all around. First of all, let me wish you and everyone all the best for this new year that we have started. Challenging year it will be. Last year was such a very devastating year for the whole country, not only those in the worst hit hurricane hit areas. Because you know, Colin, the Jamaican family stretch very wide. And I say constituency like mine in Portmore, that was not affected in any significant way. In fact, minor if any damage. Our relatives, family members in Western Jamaica that was devastated. So the impact, though not directly, has been quite indirect for many of us Jamaicans.
Thank you for joining us, Sir Jackson. We have a lot of things to talk about as it relates to national security in Jamaica right now. A lot of people are concerned, and let's just go there first. A lot of people are concerned with the increase in police killings over last year period. I think we had about 319 killings this year, or 311.
Yeah, the number keeps rising daily. It's hard to kind of keep track of the last one.
And then we have 13 since the beginning of this year. Yeah. Speak to us about that.
Well, you have said it, Colin. The number is alarming. I've said it publicly before. I'm really reiterating the position. That's not just of myself, of the opposition and many Jamaicans. The number you quote almost resembling the number of persons that are killed. The murder rate that we welcome its reduction. But when you look at that number and the number of people being killed by the police, it is reasons for concern. Strong reasons for concern. And for that reason why we ask and we would want to see very thorough, independent investigation as to the circumstances and to establish, is it really as it is reported? We hear quite often that alleged gunmen attack the police, attack the security forces, they return fire, and those persons died. Look, is it that the criminals have gotten more stupider than they were before to be taking on the security forces and meeting their demise in the way that is reported?
I have to pause you right there. So, I love the way how Mr. Fitz Jackson framed that, because you see, this is my thing. I'm trying to remember. How many times have you seen these criminals have a shootout with the police? That's my thing. Hey, let me turn on my camera. I'll come back in a second. Yeah, man. Right, yes, sir.
If it is so, we'd love to see some evidence to support that rather than a mere claim and an allegation. We can't build a lasting, safe, peaceful, cohesive society when large segments of the society feel threatened by those who are sworn to protect them. That's not the way to build a country. It is a way to try to enjoy some statistics, but you can't push people away in the process. And that is the concerns we have.
We were just in a discussion about body cameras, MP. And one of the things is that we are not seeing a push from the government for body camera. Where is the opposition as it relates to body camera worn by the police?
Well, our position has been unchanging as recently as the last sitting in Parliament, when the Prime Minister moved the motion for the the extension of the ZOZOs throughout the country. I raised that point on behalf of the opposition. And what we got from the Prime Minister is, how should I, a rhetorical scratch record response. By that I mean, the core of the government's response is that, yes, on the one hand, they support the use of the cameras, and they have been saying that for a number of years. The Prime Minister himself has said that publicly. But when the tire hits the ground, they have not delivered on it. And there's all kinds of explanation being given. Colin, body-worn camera is not a new device. The science behind it is not a new one. These are shelf items. These are not items that you have to give 1-year orders with specs for. They are being used all over the place. They are produced commercially from the appropriate entities that are involved in doing that all over the place. And then the Prime Minister comes and addresses the country in a way as if we're dummies. And we can understand that this is a complex matter that will take some time.
Jackson, I am laughing because those are the very things we were talking about. The Prime Minister come to tell you about you have to get backroom equipment, you have to get recording equipment to capture the picture like we done.
Yes, we know that. That's standard.
And it is available.
And it's available. So it leaves persons like myself and many others, perhaps you are included in it too, to want to believe that the government, stroke the JCF, has no real interest in having them operational, in place and operational. The other thing that I would want to know too, while these hardware facilities are being put in place, what will be the protocols for the operation of these body-owned? Because it's one thing to have it in a column. How you use them is another matter.
Yes.
Or how they are intended to be used.
Yes.
No, we don't need to provide these elements in a sequential way. Because these are policy issues that they need to enunciate. And now is a good time, even ahead of them coming into being, so that we know what to expect. We know what we will get from it. And secondly, as a democratic country, it gives the opportunity for the public, persons like yourself, myself, as part of the opposition and civil society, to make their input, because whatever government does, it must be towards serving the people.
But Jackson, you're a part of government. Would it be fair for me to think, and I am of the opinion, that certain permission have been given or certain command has been given to the police by the political directorate for this action to be going on, and we don't see the government really pushing and demanding that body cameras be worn? And I am of the opinion as a regular citizen that the government have no interest in seeing the police wearing body cameras.
And that's the point I just made. The behavior of the government would reasonably cause people to believe so, including myself. I want that not to be the case, but the action of the government is driving that perception.
What is the role of the opposition and a part of the government sitting in the parliament to enforce things like these, to get policies like these in place?
Colin, I beg of you, when you're going to frame the question in the way that the opposition is a part of the government, you have to be a bit more precise than that. We are a part of the legislature, period.
You're not a part of the executive.
Correct. And it is the executive that executes, not the legislature.
And the executive that really makes the final decision.
Sorry?
The executive also makes the final decision.
Correct. So I don't want you to just bundle the opposition in the government of the JLP as being jointly responsible for what we're talking about. That is furthest from the fact. And you know, and many Jamaicans know, and I am coming to over the years of this government, I come to realize that if you want something good not to happen, don't make the opposition say it.
Because once you say the government not going to do it, is that
correct?
But Fitz Jackson, if we look at what the murder figures say, and we have seen videos, example Cherry Tree Lane, and we hear about this 4-year-old
in St. James.
In St. James the other night. Some of the killings are really questionable.
Even the Cherry Tree one, we haven't gotten any answers to as yet either.
And where do we go from here as a nation?
Simple.
Because hold on, Fitz. If we just look at people who have been murdered by the gun, there is no 42% decline.
It's a matter of who killed them.
It's a matter of who killed them. So even with the murder rate going down, Jamaicans killed by the gun in 2025 is not down at 42%.
Colin, you asked a question before, which I want to answer. What do we do?
Yeah. What is your role and the opposition? And
no, I want to say we.
Yes.
The opposition has a role, yes, and we won't resign from that. And let me speak to that one first. The opposition we have a seat in Parliament, and we use that platform to one, critique, and I deliberately use the word critique and not criticize, because critiquing is an objective activity. We must even critique our own selves to make what we seek to do better. So we seek to critique what the government does in its policies, in its program. 2, we seek to advance and advocate for approaches which we believe can contribute to the well-being or the better well-being of the Jamaican people. You know, there's a tendency in members of the government that once the government do something or announce something, you must not question it. That's so sad and unfortunate. But we will not be subjected to that stricture and that expectation. So we will.
No, listen. I'm recording, so crazy chip. Because the police and politicians. Well, if we're gonna be objective, people are corrupt. People are corrupt. And you know, if you have a corrupt nature from early, and then you are exposed to an environment that has no checks and balances, where you are allowed to be corrupt even more, and you gain from it, more often than not, persons and individuals are going to continue to be corrupt. Now, if we were like Singapore, for example, prison time, assets being taken away and getting lashed, multiple lashes when they are prison, politician or otherwise. Listen, these incidents, there would be some reduction. Just to know that they are not big enough. They're not bigger than the law. The law doesn't care who they are. Prime Minister, don't matter. When the law said whoop, whoop, them thing there. But we don't have that in Jamaica. Let us be clear. We don't have that. We have a situation where our Prime Minister sues the Integrity Commission, saying that it is unconstitutional. What? And listen, and he's the one that put the act out there. Madness, absolute madness, fam. Now let's continue.
We'll always critique and we'll always advance, and we'll raise questions, pertinent questions, and issues regarding what the government does, and issues that occurs in the Jamaican society that needs the authority of the government to address. We will do that. We will do it as forcefully as we can, And we try to do it as tactically as we can. And some things are not necessarily more advantageous to raise in the parliament. Sometimes the greater part of it has to be done outside the parliament. And we do that. For example, even when year before last, when the government shut down the parliament to prevent the leader of the opposition from speaking, we have to carry that message that we had to deliver as an opposition elsewhere. So yes, that's what we will do and more as the opposition. But there are things that we, the collective, must do as a people.
Yes.
Look here, anywhere across the world, Colin, that you have far-reaching changes, it is not the mere leadership or political leadership. It is the people with their leaders make those changes, pursue those changes, and cause them to come and to be. Look, I learned very early in my life, those who oppress you will not see power to you because you talk. They will only see power to you when you're going to act against them. We seek to do that through the democratic process. And we see what parties and governments will do to thwart that process to pursue their own illegitimate will. You are in Portland. You are quite close to make things happen, but that's not going to be the subject of discussion today. And it's one that can be discussed at another time. But in terms of the role of, as you said, of the opposition and people, we need to get engaged. Democracy is not a 5-year exercise. Democracy is an everyday exercise. Look at the descriptions and you see it.
If you're just joining us on Caribbean Radio 97.9 HD4, we're talking to Member of Parliament Fitz Jackson. Fitz Jackson is the Shadow Minister on National Security, and he comes from the People's National Party. Fitz, the numbers for 2025 says murders are down by 42%. Are there any bodies? Because I know up to the middle of last year, there were 400 and about 92 bodies that they have not determined if these people should be in the murder numbers. Are there still dead bodies that have not been accounted for?
I can't answer that in any definitive way, Colin. Some that I have to lend my attention to a bit, right? I honestly can't give you a meaningful answer at this point, and I rather defer it, and I can come back to you at a later date.
With the numbers.
Yes.
Right, not a problem. All right, so also, Fitz, when we look at the whole issue of the police not wearing the body camera and the government's action on it, a caller earlier reminded us that civil society had a protest for the police to wear body cameras, and Marlon Morgan, I know lesser person than the Prime Minister, really participated in a counter-protest against JFK back then. What are your views on that?
And it is unfortunate, to say the least, and it suggests or confirms the kind of, Jamaican sense of people talk out of two sides of their mouth.
Yes.
On one side, them saying something, and on the other side, them saying something counter to it. So they don't know where they truly stand. And this government has repeatedly demonstrated that it will say the things that it believes can deflect from the real issues. It will say whatever it believes need to be said that can cause them not to be held responsible for their own action. And that's what you see in those remarks. But I want to say something further about the body-worn cameras.
Yes.
Regrettably, some people see it as a anti-police or not pro-police request or demand. And that is furthest from the truth. You're not going to have a peaceful society. You're not going to have peaceful communities across Jamaica if the people in the various communities do not have confidence and trust in the police that is going to protect them. Let us accept that as a starting point. When allegation of inappropriate and in fact criminal action by the police is alleged, it is important that those police officers are able to clear their names and the integrity and respect for the police be preserved. The cameras being worn by the police in these operations is a tool towards preserving the respect, regard, perception, positive perception of the police force. So the body-worn camera is a pro-police device. That's an anti-police device. But it's otherwise depending on the perspective or the angle that one choose to look at it. Let me make this clear. I think the overwhelming majority of the police force are well-intentioned, decent persons. But like in every organization, you have cliques, you have groupings that brings the organization into disrepute.
Let me.
Ladies and gentlemen, I forgot to encourage you for my check. Yo, alright, perfect. Don't have that too low. It's on like one. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to encourage you guys to go over to Colin Bell Show, right? And subscribe to the page and see the rest of this interview with Mr. Fitz. Alright. Yeah, man, definitely go to Portland Spice TV. That live stream was the 6th of January 2026. Alright? Yeah, that was the evening live stream, and it was a 3-hour one. So you know you had different perspective. Rasta Hyman was on there. I still haven't been able to check what he's talking about in terms of, you know, the economy and stuff like that. But the conversation surrounding the crime and the violence, this is one of the most well articulated discussions in terms of the PMP representative. He hit every nail on the head. You know what I mean? And you know, you can clearly see that he's calling on the people to understand that we as people in the country play a major role in its democracy. Right? Alright? This month, the 15th, because I said, we as a people play a role in the democracy. So you remember when Andrew Warner said, we should raise our voice in concert. Remember that? You guys remember that? Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you have remembered him saying that, then I want to strongly encourage you. I want to strongly encourage you guys to raise your voice in concert. Black Loki, big up. I mean, come on. You guys are family. Labor rights out there, come on. You know what you're feeling. You know what you're experiencing. So all in the name of to protect the fake image of a party in their political journey as the government, you guys play it down. Oh, you know, I don't want to embarrass. I don't want to show up my party, although I lost my, you know, I don't even want to go there. Listen, you guys know. The 4-year-old, I didn't care. And the last thing I would have thought about is if it was a JLP area. The very last thing. The 4-year-old young little baby that was unalived, allegedly by the police. By the soldier, whatever, JCF, JDF, I don't know. The last thing I thought about. I didn't even think about it. It was in a discussion and Mr. Well known some that I heard the conversation lead to the era in which it happened was a JLP era today. So I say to you guys, my brothers and sisters out there, whether you are JLP or PMP or no P at all, we are the ones that face it. And we are the ones that could have never been an uptown baby. It could have never been somebody in an uptown house and the police was shooting wildly, allegedly, and hit a baby in an uptown house. It wouldn't have happened. And if it did, oh, hell would have to pay. Hell would have to pay, ladies and gentlemen. Trust and believe. But we live in, them say the animal farm, it's about tree Jamaica, you know. Yeah, man, you have tears. Yeah, man, it's about tree Jamaica because you have most of where they right, so but we don't have no connections, and no matter what connections we think we have, we're not big enough. You have to get subjected to all type of abuse by the police. And it's not every police. We are talking about the police that will abuse people specifically. Violate them human rights, violate them constitutional rights, and violate their right to life, period. Whether they are deemed to be a criminal or not. I tell you all the while, you know, these people are not seeing the bigger picture, you know. You understand? And then he also spoke about, ladies and gentlemen, the relief effort of the hurricane. I am so tired, personally, of even speaking about these things because it's so blatant. One of the things he said that stood out to me in this interview was when he said, when PMP says something, you notice it don't happen. So it appears as if the PMP is using a strategy of being quiet, ladies and gentlemen. They are using a strategy of being quiet so as to not have the people suffer more. So they're just waiting to see if the government is going to do the things that will benefit the people. They're giving them all the room to show the world who they are and how they treat the people. And one of the things he also said that stood out to me in the interview was when he spoke about the separation of powers, executive and legislative, right? The PMP is not the government. They are not a part of the executive. All right? And that needs to be understood. So when people need to gauge their expectation of what the opposition can actually do and how effective in their opposition will even their opposition be, given the nature. That's what he said. If you want something not to happen, let the PMP say it. I was like, what? This is where it's at? Spiteful? Yo, listen, man. Let me know what y'all think, man. Smash up that like button, share the live, all that good stuff. You heard? All that good stuff. I leave you with this. I leave you with this.
Believe that a politician don't ever believe. Because the system that we have produces politicians. It doesn't produce leaders. And so you can have a politician who knows nothing about leadership and he's leading you. Politicians are concerned about the next election. That's all they're interested in. That's why they cannot be leaders. But leaders are different. Leaders are concerned about the next generation. want you to compare
Think about that.
those two thoughts the next time you have a politician come to your house wanting to vie for your vote. Just ask him, what is your vision for my children?
Wow.
I will sit and listen for 20 minutes for you to tell me what it is. He will leave your house.
My God.
Because he has no interest in your children's children. His concern is to stay in power, to keep the position, to win the next election. This is why they cannot lead. When you are going to have a conversation with a politician, you should actually try this as a test. You, by the way, as a citizen of a community, you have a right to be seen by the mayor. I hope you know that. If you voted for a mayor, the mayor works for you. Therefore, you have a right to see him. You can make an appointment to see any public officer you voted for. Did you know that? That's your legal right.
I did not know that.
If he don't want to see you, you can take him to court.
Wow.
That's democracy. So I want you to make an appointment to go and see your mayor or go and see your governor and just sit and say, I want 30 minutes with you, sir. And ask him about that list right there. And sir, what is your purpose for being in leadership in this city? What is your purpose? The first question will make him very nervous. Second question, what is your passion for our community? He'll be wondering what you're talking about. What are you talking about? I just want to build roads and bridges and provide jobs. No. What is your passion? And this is why we need to question the leaders we have. And so I have a little thought here. I call it politics versus leadership. Let's talk about it for a second. Number one, politicians focus on programs, not vision. Number two, politicians' priority is securing the next election, not securing the next generation. Their focus is different. Number three, politicians are preoccupied with promises, not purpose.
Wow.
What we need is statesmen. Statesmen. We don't need more politicians. A statesman is an interesting human. A statesman think of the next generation.
That's facts. That's facts.
Appealing that decision. And
First
I
of all,
hear...
And then the Prime Minister comes and addresses the country in a way as if we're dummies. And we can understand that this is a complex matter that will take some time. These are shelf items of the scratch record response. By that I mean, the core of the government's response is that, yes, on the one hand, they support the use of the cameras, and they have been saying that for a number of years. The Prime Minister himself has said that publicly.
So why are you supporting the use of the cameras, Dr. the Right Honorable Andrew Williams, but yet still you have not moved with any alacrity to one, procure the amount necessary for all island usage, and two, fix the system to put in the ones that are already there. It's all about action after the talk, you know. That's why my girl say, action, not a bag of mouth. So, love it with it. Yeah, man. Action, not a bag of mouth. Ladies out there, honestly. Man gets sweet talk and they're like, ooh, Ray, and this and that. But then his action does not match. He says he loves you, but doesn't show you he loves you through action. And I'm not talking about him giving you money. There's a lot of ways to show you. A man shows you he loves you through action. You have to open up your eyes to seeing those actions. A man or a woman does not spend time, a ton load of time with somebody that they don't love and appreciate. The people of Jamaica and Johannes, why they killed? I am not, you know. I am not. I couldn't even say something like that. I have so many other people that I've come and seen that has been doing this for years. I just came on the scene last year, early last year. You know, if I'm being 100% honest, which I tried to be. I really tried to be 100% honest. So I couldn't say that, but I appreciate the compliments too. Humbly. Thank you. Right? Because you have a man like Mr. Fitzjackson, you know. You have a man like Colin Bell, you know. You have Marky G, Andre Stevens, Will Rattigan. Oh my God. Mr. Wayne Lonesome, the whole Titans melted, but you understand what I say? Mystic Sensation. You understand? Hot off of the press talking on TV, hot water. You know. So many persons that Mama San on TikTok, Jerry Bryan, you understand? Caution, holy people, right? I've really heard a labor right that has platform on social media that speak frankly and the truth. I have heard PMP burn out PMP, whether them in office or them is another supporter. I heard PMP call out PMP. Even if I disagree, I have heard that level of democracy among the PMP supporters. You understand? Yeah, I've seen that. But I've also seen some blind loyalty as well. Right? But not very much, if I'm being honest. Colin Bell is a man with the inner the trenches with the thing. I mean, hear him call out the PMP. Mr. Wayne Lonesome. You hear him call him out, don't never get called out. And one thing with them people are like, if them see you and you're genuine about who you is, them are going to defend you. But if they say you run joke with the thing and you're not do the right thing, them are going to blast you. Them are going to turn up the thing. So them stay. You understand? Yeah, I respect that.
But when the tire hits the ground, they have not delivered on it.
Exactly.
And there's all kinds of explanation being given. Colin, body-worn camera is not a new device.
Right.
The science behind it is not a new one.
Exactly.
These are shelf items. These are not items that you have to give 1 year orders with specs for. They are being used all over the place.
Yes.
They are produced commercially from the appropriate entities that are involved in doing that all over the place. And then the Prime Minister comes and addresses the country in a way as if we're dummies. And we can understand that this is a complex matter that will take some time.
Fitzjackson, I am laughing because those are the very things we were talking about. The Prime Minister come tell you about you have to get backroom equipment, you have to get recording equipment to capture the picture like we done.
Listen, I'm gonna find that video. And I'm gonna post the video. I'm gonna react to the video and show you guys how easy it is to install body-worn cameras on police officers. What it takes. And then when you hear the Prime Minister and his other delegates come out and they try to sell you this complexity as to why they have not implemented the body-worn cameras, then especially in the areas where they're doing operations. Because it's mostly on operations Jamaicans lose them life, you know, and it should be the other way around. Operations should limit casualty, not cause it. You're catching the elements supposedly by surprise, the criminal elements. So therefore, and listen, yo, have you ever, has a soldier jeep ever pulled up on you and you not hear it? If a soldier jeep ever pull up on you and you not hear it, if you lived in Jamaica in the pandemic, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you never did experience that before, you see, in a pandemic, if you don't live uptown and you live in a regular Jamaica, you know, say you experienced that already. Have you seen a soldier jeep pull up on you and you not even hear the engine? And when the man them reach at your foot, at that the time there, me talk about day or night. At that the time there, you realize say soldier them there. Yo, the man them know how to do them thing, brother. The man them know how to do them thing. The man them train, the man them have to kill off the people them, so brother. The man them can capture people, bro. You understand? Statements from Horace Chang and Jonas and other members, especially them, is what I believe is fueling this blood spilling of the Jamaican people. We can't even prove if they're a criminal or not, because I would them tell you say. They was never tried in front of a judge, most of them. No pan youth at church really. Jamal Ferguson. There are so many names we can reference if you're following the news. Good youth, go to work, you understand, come home, stay out of trouble. Life taken. Listen, I have never seen police go on operation, catch somebody, because not even catch them open the door and put up their hand. At that point, that person has to be handcuffed right away. 23 are you, 22, 21 are you, and one person are the bigger. One person. One young man, 23 police. And you want us to believe that the young man dipped, tried to get a gun after you guys brought him back into the house. Then if he was that serious of a shooter, he wouldn't come open the door. He would have just go with guns blazing. That makes sense, though. These are the things. You understand? These are the things. Somebody say, Fed's coming to pick up all SSL players. I don't know about that. Alright, pick up yourself early, you know where this love. I'll go sleep. We have church tomorrow. One love. Zane? I'm not telling you.
That's standard.
And it is available.
So it leaves persons like myself and many others, perhaps you are included in it too, to want to believe that the government stroke the jurisdictional. The other thing that them operate, government stroke the JCF, has no real interest in having them operational.
And that's exactly what I believe. By Gota, may I run with that, you know, may I hold firm. I just know that God is going to take them down. I don't know how God is going to do it, but multiple ways, prophetically, a lot of things going to happen this year. By the grace of God. Oh, sorry. You said telling you we're not asking, brother. We're telling you we're not asking. Yeah, man, we say, yeah. Oh, no, we're not. Listen. I'm talking about the creator of the universe. I'm talking about the God of Jacob, the God of Moses, the God of Daniel. Alright? Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. I'm not talking about an image that somebody painted. I'm not talking about none of that. I'm talking about the true and living God. Alright? That's what I'm talking about. But yeah, it's going to happen prophetically. We have the prophecies already have been told, documented, and we're waiting to see the manifestation of the Most High. All I know, it's going to be everything. It's not no joke. It's not, this is serious. You know, it's going to be all types of emotion. What's up, Royal Empire? What's up, Royal Empire? Wagwan. You good? Pick up yourself, you know.
In place and operational. The other thing that I would want to know too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, so Fitzjackson was saying that it's clear, or what the actions are, the lack thereof of actions of the government would want to lead well-thinking Jamaicans to believe that the government really has no intention to put in body-worn cameras, because if they did, they would have done it already. If it was a priority, they would have done it. They had the resources, the capabilities, and everything to do it. And I mean, I remember Isaac Buchanan had mentioned a case where body-worn camera was used in the case. So body-worn cameras is on some of the police, so then you have to ask the question, why is it not on the area that needs most focus? Why is it not on police doing operations? Sorry about that, YouTube. Why is it not on you know? Hey, just saying.
While these hardware facilities are being put in place, what will be the protocols for the operation of the body worn? Because it's one thing to have it in a problem. How you use them is another matter.
Yes.
Or how they are intended to be used.
Yes.
No, we don't need to provide these elements in a sequential way.
Hey, you're right, but that's in a quota. What Jamaica needs to do is to start wearing them. Oh yeah, we totally agree on that. Hey, you know, it's funny, Decade should say that. I think the citizens of Jamaica need to start wearing body-worn cameras for their own protection. I think the citizens of Jamaica need to have cameras in every part of their houses, their vehicles. They need to have cameras, not body-worn, but they need to have cameras in every part of their vehicles. And they need body-worn cameras. There's a fancy glasses that I saw a guy with. You can get up to 2 minutes of video if you should start it. And you can get pictures and it goes to where it needs to go to. And I'm saying that could be used as well. You understand? That could be used as well.
Because these are policy issues that they need to enunciate. And now is a good time, even ahead of them coming into being, so that we know what to expect. We know what we will get from it. And secondly, as a democratic country, it gives the opportunity for the public, persons like yourself, myself, as part of the opposition and civil society, to make their input, because whatever government does, it must be towards serving the people.
But Fitzjackson, you're a part of government. Would it be fair for me to think, and I am of the opinion, that certain permission have been given or certain command has been given to the police by the political directorate for this action to be going on, and we don't see the government really pushing and demanding that body cameras be worn? And I am of the opinion, as a regular citizen, that the government have no interest in seeing the police wearing body cameras.
And that's the point I just made. The behavior of the government would reasonably cause people to believe so.
Exactly.
Including myself.
Exactly.
I want that not to be the case.
You notice how he said that? Man, I gotta start listening to these dudes. The way how they frame their answers. Let me play that back. That's tough.
And as a regular citizen, that the government have no interest in seeing the police wearing body cameras.
And that's the point I just made. The behavior of the government would reasonably cause people to believe so. Including myself. I want that not to be the case.
You notice what he did? He never said that the government, that's what the government is doing, you know. He said the actions of the government would lead people to believe that that's what they're doing, including him. Genius. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Yep.
But the action of the government is driving that perception.
What is the role of the opposition?
The actions of the government is driving the perception, not the fact, the perception that they really don't want the body-worn cameras to be implemented. So nobody can say he said the government don't want the body-worn cameras to be implemented. All he said was their actions would lead people to believe so. It fuels that perception. Man, this dude. Brilliant.
Position and a part of the government sitting in the parliament to enforce things like these, to get policies like these in place.
Colin, I beg of you.
No, play that back.
And a part of the government.
But the action of the government is driving that perception.
Listen to that question.
What is the role of the opposition and a part of the government sitting in the parliament to enforce things like these, to get policies like these in place?
Colin, I beg of you. When you're going to frame the question in the way that the opposition is a part of the government, you have to be a bit more precise than that. We are a part of the legislature.
Part of the legislature, not the executive.
Period.
You're not a part of the executive.
Correct. And it is the executive that executes, not the legislature.
And the executive that really makes the final decision.
Sorry?
The executive also makes the final decision.
Correct. So I don't want you to just bundle the opposition in the government of the JLP as being jointly responsible for what we're talking about. That is furthest from the fact. And you know,
separation of powers, separation of responsibility. That's what he's defining right here. Very important to know Very important to know.
Many Jamaicans know. I am coming to over the years of this government, I come to realize that if you want something good not to happen, don't make the opposition say it.
No, this, yo, listen what the man I say, yo.
Realize that if you want something good not to happen, don't make the opposition say it.
So if the opposition says something that is a positive, that is a good thing for the Jamaican people, because the opposition said it, it is going to be scrapped. Nah. What kind of government does that?
Because once you say the government not going to do it, is that correct?
Oh yeah, man. This is Mr. Fitz. This is on Colin Bell Show on Portland Spice TV. You only know you can follow Colin Bell on TikTok as well, no?
But Fitz Jackson, if we look at what the murder figures say, and we have seen videos, example Cherry Tree Lane, and we hear about this 4-year-old
in St. James.
In St. James the other night. Some of the killings are really questionable.
No, you know more of it.
Pretty girls walk like.
I don't know why I buck up into these videos on TikTok, you know. I not even call her name. I lift that up. Not trying to be messy. The video me I look for is, yes, Marlon Malawi. Did it come in the news? Jamaica, I'll find it. I'm just away alone, so I'm see it panel out. Probably I forgot to film video first. See me can identify which page it upon. Cause you know the general I gonna stop on there a sec. You understand? And when you wanna deal with that wicked, we all have a call in. Couldn't believe. Tell them something that she had gone with. All in mother wanna use it. Alright, see that. Oh, St. James West Central Affair page. A TikTok. Oh no, look like a Facebook. See if we can find it. St. James West Central. If I know Facebook, Instagram, but Facebook link to Instagram still. Oh yeah, see that? Wait. What? So how come we can't click on the page? Oh, for now one. Alright. Yes, see that?
Minister, this no good. Honor your ruling, you have to do something. One at a time, we the go and they say, to give soldiers the credit over police. We don't accept this one is by the army.
Let's suspend the judgment until the matter is investigated.
All right, so immediately Marlon Mala, who fought in this video, came to the defense of the police and the soldier. Let us suspend judgment until the investigation is done. Now, her argument is that she was not there. Okay. If that is the precedence that is being set by her, what follows after is grossly inadequate, ladies and gentlemen. As a matter of fact, you know what? Let me just record this video before. Anything. You know, before let's pause that one there. All of these. That's the one thing I'm gonna need to find out how to stop. Anytime I go up on this something here. Open OBS. Be nice. All of the audio they may have. And just start Europe. You understand? Anyway, alright, cool. I think we're good now. Alright, so let me just record this. Click on fast, go. Marlon Mala walk one, but she is going on bad, ladies and gentlemen. Listen to this.
Ruling, you have to do something. It's the minister, this no good. Honor your ruling, you have to do something. One at a time, we the go and they say, we give soldiers the credit over police. We don't accept this one is by the army.
Let's suspend the judgment until the matter is investigated.
Well, I just say reaching a minister. We don't carry on judgment with the innocent soldier.
They say they come because if the eye fire, what they're hearing you.
None of these officers here was present. I wasn't present. So back in the community, I have to listen to the report. You know how really pleased I am to maintain to have they were already patrolling the space. So we had foot patrol.
Minister, this no good. Honor your ruling, you have to do something. One at a time, we the go and they say, we give soldiers the credit over police. We don't accept this one is by the army.
Let's suspend the judgment until the matter is investigated.
Well, I just say reaching a minister. We don't carry on judgment with the innocent soldier.
They say they come because if the eye fire, what they're hearing you.
None of these officers here was present. I wasn't present. So I have to listen to the report. That was really, really hard to maintain peace. They were already patrolling the space. So we had foot patrol and vehicular patrol jointly by the police and the army.
Praying for mercy, hoping he's there. Tears on my pillow night after night. But his voice whispered.
Everybody only come and tell me sorry, you know. I say, oh God, this and that you cannot bring back the baby life.
What's his name?
Remain Bowman.
Right. And his father? Where is his father? Father? So sorry. I'll be paying attention to what's happening.
As it unfolds and we know exactly what happens, we will continue to stand in support and solidarity with you.
There is a process for investigation of fatal shootings. I don't know if there is any confirmation yet, but you can be assured that the matter will be investigated. And I'm really sorry that this is what you're experiencing. Very sorry about the loss of your son under these circumstances. Not the tone on which we wanted to start this new year. Really, really sorry. Your son, what's his name?
Kevon, what?
My condolence.
We cannot use a broad brush to paint every police and every police. Like we want the officers when they come about to have the mindset that not every individual in the ghetto, but I have good youth inside of you.
You're coming inside here. Treat us with respect. Don't treat us like because it's ghetto. All of us are just foot class.
Good youth with good intention, good ambition. Some of them just get carried away. But even though the institution is there, sometimes they don't have nobody to force them to get involved. So we need more programs.
On behalf of the Granville community, I just want to say thank you so much alongside with Malawi Court to come here so thankful for us.
Alright, so I have that recorded. Now we can talk. Let's examine this now for real.
Minister, this no good. Honor your ruling, you have to do something. One at a time, we the go and they say, we give soldiers the credit over police. We need to accept this one, this is from the army.
Let's suspend the judgment until the matter is investigated.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. And listen, I am not against the soldiers. I am pointing out a pattern here. So, for those that are weak-minded, I like to, misunderstand the message. Let me be pellucid. I am not against all soldiers or all police. I would be stupid. After me not support no criminal. Listen to me. We need a soldier them and a good police them. Yeah? Thank you all for your service. We need Now, with that said, when you wake up in a one bad one, or two or three, you have to call a spade a spade. What Marlon Malawi Fort just did was to say, I wasn't there. I have only heard what the mother said. The mother said this happened. See? The mother said this happened. The mother could be lying. No, that is what she's saying. She don't know who is telling the truth. At first, listen to my argument. It's responsible of her, right? To say that she doesn't know. Not true. And for the people in YouTube, we can, as a matter of fact, stick around. Come on and talk about this. TikTok, they are going to rock out. No. The president that she said is that she don't know anything, she wasn't there. So, she had to suspend the judgment. Let's suspend the judgment of the soldiers. Because we were not there. You hear what the Rasta man say? The man differentiate, the man say. We not talk about the innocent soldier them with their right so. We are talking about the soldier with the unaliving of the 4-year-old. So when you see the people them come on them outrage, they are intelligent enough to differentiate between God them real soldier. They might differentiate between who? Bad soldier will do the action or the alleged action and the good soldier them. Even at the end here when the girl thanked Marlon Malawi Fort and the soldier them for come and show solidarity. I'm a big them up for that too. That is a good look because everybody that themselves have him and somebody have to do their part of the soldier them or any group will say, yo, them wrong. This don't look good enough, sound good. We are stand with the family. Feel like I deal with. I love that. The police them, we have to give the soldier them more credit. When last have I seen that from the police them? I don't know of that. I don't know of police. Even the Jamar Ferguson thing, I don't know of police publicly coming out and going to the family and saying, listen, we're sorry. This looks bad, but we're doing an investigation to find out the details of the situation, and I promise you, we're gonna get to the bottom of this to make sure, and we're gonna advocate more for body-worn cameras. So in these situations, we as the police that are not guilty of anything that is wrong can be protected. Like Mr. Fitzjack said, the body-worn cameras is a tool, a positive tool for the police to build trust among the people. So see there. They never realize that the police have body-worn camera. And look what them are going to the police. And this is why the police have to behave how them behave. The argument would shift. The conversation would shift if they are indeed doing the right thing. If they are indeed doing the right thing. Bless the Lord, Jerome. Big up. Understand? So, again, Miss Marlene Manahu says, listen, we weren't there. Well, let's continue.
I just say reaching a minister. We don't carry on judgment with the innocent soldier.
They said they come because of the eye fire what they hearing ya.
None of these officers here was present. I wasn't present. So
you see now she's reestablishing that. Listen, please remember, we are not the ones. We weren't here. But they are now here in support of the family that lost their child, period. All right, continue.
I have to listen to the report.
Yeah.
So she has to listen to the reports. The report of the mother and the soldier. Then let's continue.
They worked really, really hard to maintain peace. They were already patrolling the space.
So now she is speaking on the operation of the soldiers that she was not there to see. Listen.
So we had foot patrol and vehicular patrol jointly by the police and the army.
So now she's speaking on the operation, which appears as if she's in defense of the soldiers. A while ago, she would not defend the argument of the mother that said the soldier unalive our pitney. And when she come out there and say, yo, our pitney get shot, the man tell her about her mother allegedly and continue to fire. And I saw the baby organs them drop out. This is the story. Let's we not forget. So Marlene Malawu 14, that little clip right there, so appears to be defending the soldiers that were on operation. You understand? It appears that she's more on their side. She's willing to defend them. You understand? She has cast the judgment indirectly on the mother's testimony by these statements right here, so.
They worked really, really hard to maintain peace. They were already patrolling the space. So we had foot patrol and vehicular patrol jointly by the police and the army.
That's a police report. If the head of the stream dirty, the river must be dirty. True, man.
Despair, praying for mercy, hoping he's there. Tears on my pillow night after night, but his voice whispered.
Yo, them all say a amazing camera. Bullet, there's no resistance for bullet then. No resistance.
Everybody only come and tell me sorry, you know. I say, oh God, this and that we cannot bring back the baby life.
What's his name?
Remain Bowman.
And his father? Where is his father? Father? So sorry. I'll be paying attention to what's happening.
As it unfolds and we know exactly what happens, we will continue to stand in support and solidarity with you.
Big up the soldier them. Big up them soldier. You know what I'm saying? This is a good thing. This is the right thing. For community, the family and thing. Because that relationship that you don't want to burn the bridge with the citizen them as a soldier. No matter how much or a force or a police force or army or whatever. No matter how much force you have, you don't want to increase the force that is up against you. Because you will be trying to swim upstream at that point. This is good. But again, I go back to what appears to be Marlon Mallow Fort defending, having a slight defense. Because she shouldn't have spoken on the operation. She wasn't there. Just like, oh, she never spoke for the lady. She never said the lady was lying. She never said the lady had tell the truth. She said, you know, let's wait on the investigation. Well, you should have waited. You should have waited. That little clip there. That little clip there never helped the perception of the government always defending the force, no matter how bad the situation look. It never helped. You understand? And Jonas, government has set a precedence where that is concerned. True. Yeah, man. Them set a precedence, man. Tough.
There is a process for investigation of fatal shootings. I don't know if there is any confirmation yet, but you can be assured that the matter will be investigated. Nambia, I'm really sorry that this is what you're experiencing. Very sorry about the loss of your son under these circumstances. Not the tone on which we wanted to start this new year. Really, really sorry. Your son, what's his name?
Devon, what?
My condolence.
We cannot use a broad brush to paint every police that every police is bad.
The brother are intelligent. This was an intelligent argument. You cannot use a broad brush for judge every police. Thanks for sharing, guys. Thanks for reposting. Much like how you can give a broad brush for judge every ghetto youth. So because a youth live a Marvally or a youth live even Tivoli, Junction, Spanish Town, anywhere at all, where them deem as a bad man place or whatever. You see me? Kingston 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, Kingston 10, 11, 9, all like Kingston, them St. Andrew, Clarendon, St. Catherine, St. Mary, Portland, it don't matter where you come from. If you deem as if something is going on with negative and crime, it doesn't mean that everybody in the area is a criminal. So just like how we have police that do extrajudicial killings, it don't mean that every police is a bad police. So the man wanna show yourself, understand that. And they must say, oh, the police, they need to understand that too, bro. If you come in here, the report is that saying some shot on a fire. And these are the unconfirmed report. Some shot on a fire. You know, the area, and them want against the police, them did want against to say, yo, no shot for fire, no celebration for New Year's, no Bolo. The man them put out warning. Granted, saying, there'll be fear. If the allegations are true, ladies and gentlemen, police them run down the youth, they never shoot off of them. If the reports are true, saying what happened according to the alleged reports is that them run on the youth and them run and then them run going at the place then. You know? the man have a shot, but a wild shot, because people are them better sleep. A basic fence and something, you understand? Yeah, so the lady come out and say, my baby get shot, and the man name still her. And the baby get shot again, and that was the fatal shot. So if those reports are true, ladies and gentlemen, this is, you know, how do they explain the baby getting shot? That, like, the baby gets shot, the baby dead. How you explain that away? Where the bullet come from? It's not reported that the young men that they were running down were shooting back anybody or shooting back. So where the bullet come from? If the bullet matched the gun of the officer, game over. If 2 bullets match the gun of the officer, the JDF officer, game over. What is going to be his explanation? The criminal running at the house, someone are shooting at the house, not knowing what is the procedure. Suppose the man kidnap people in the house and have them as hostage. You just shoot up the hostage.
We want the officers when they come up with the mindset that not every individual in the ghetto, right, you have good you inside of you.
You're coming inside here. Treat us with respect. Don't treat us like because it's ghetto. All of us are just foot class.
You hear that? The people in the ghetto say that to them. Not because we're in the ghetto. Don't treat us like we're foot clad. When you come in the ghetto, you treat you with respect. How much police and soldier you know how to do that? Brother, the man them have a well trained, bro. How much police and soldier you know really are going in the ghetto? And look upon a ghetto youth and say, young man, and deal with them on the level there. Now if they get out of hand, and the police them verbally get out of hand, you know, it is what it is. But the approach, the first instance, any showing of respect to that effect, what you think about? Most of them go check in on the level there, bro. Them not do that. Some of them see it as a sign of weakness. They feel like say like hurt something and that tough something. Or them deem as tough. You understand? So them come out that way because really and truly, them really interfere. A lot of the police them is not operating with the authority of confidence in their ability to do their jobs and come home alive. So they're operating in fear. So what they do is the psychological part of it is to, instead of me fearing you, I am looking to impose fear on you for me. And they feel like that is a line of defense. But there's a thin line between fear and hate. There's a thin line between fear and hate. Not just love and hate. Fear and hate. You can push fear so much on somebody that they hate you. And guess what? The reaction to that hate for you is going to be a defense that will not be healthy for you. You know what I mean? Yeah.
With good intention, good ambition. Some of them just get carried away. But even though the institution is there, sometimes they don't have nobody to force them to get involved. So we need more programs. Of the Granville community, I just want to say.
Very interesting. Very interesting. It's the first time I've seen Marlene Malowford doing MP work. Me personally. That pretty much kind of put her in the news. If I'm not mistaken, one of the criticism in the election is that she was pretty MIA. But because she has been given a lesser job now, I guess she has more time. She'd better make time. Come here, see a labor right, come make it. I don't want to lose ties. Yeah. But trust me, it's very unfortunate, man. I tell you, like 4-year-old, I feel it in my heart. I feel it in my heart, man. I like to you deserve that, brother. Just because you live in one place and Jamaica from last year, I don't know if you remember. Mark Stewart, Jeffrey Shuttleworth come out with videos constantly encouraging the people to pray, cover them children, cover them family. Cover them children, cover them family, I tell you. Remember that regular. The man them come talk about it because there's an attack, a blood attack on the children them in Jamaica. Baby young blood spill. Pure young blood spill, man. Terrible. I'm not gonna let you right, so you know. Come go on my bed, I'm not gonna lie down. I want to see if we can start the day early. Like in the next 5 hours or 6 hours. The next 6 hours for around 9 o'clock, 7 hours. 7 hours, 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. Get up, man. In the bed. Get myself together and check in on the life. You know what I mean? 9 o'clock, I try for 9. I try for 9. Tomorrow, Wednesday? Yeah, man, I try for 9. God bless you all, TikTok. Big up your number to come on. So, I did have to make an effort to come on, I'm glad I did. Please, I want to invite the people on TikTok to go look in my bio and you will see the link to my YouTube. Let me show you. Let me show you. You guys see it? Yeah, man. That's the link. Right above the email. Right above the red something right there, so see that? That's the link to my YouTube, so look. See? It goes to the YouTube, see? See? That's my page. Main page. So click the link, open it, subscribe. Alright? Bless up on yourself. The word is love. I'm out. Sweet dreams, everybody. Stay prayed up.